Hello, Lions fans, and welcome to episode 61 of Just Lying Around, a Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland, and I am joined by my co host and brother in law and newly married man, Adam Snow. Adam, we just got done watching this game. We're live here. Um,
Yeah.
See, you didn't smash the your computer screen. So, other than that, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm still kind of riding high off of the marriage this weekend. But watching that Lions game, I might be the calmest Lions fan I've seen on the internet right now. Like, I've already gotten the Packers fans texting me saying, "Hey, what's the score of the game, buddy?" I'm like, "It's one game," and I already see Lions fans freaking out all over the place. I'm sure we'll get into it, but guys, it's one game. Green Bay is a good team. Let's get that right out of the way. Green Bay is a good team. I knew this was going to be a tough game. I thought it would go Detroit's way, but clearly there's quite a few things we got to clean up, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, Kyle.
That we will. But yeah, on today's show, we're going to cover the Lions versus Packers game, then look ahead at week 2 game against the Chicago Bears, and a little bit of news as well. So let's jump into this here. Game 1 of the season, Lions versus Packers. Lions 13, Packers 27. You can tell by the box score here. It should really be Lions 6, Packers 27, but garbage time. Lions get a touchdown. So that's why we got the 13 there. But let's jump into some stats real quick. We got Jared Goff, 31 39 for 225 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. Running game for the Lions was pretty terrible here. So we got one person here. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries for 19 yards, 2.1 average per carry. We had Sam Laporta, 6 receptions for 79 yards. He had the most receptions of the game. We had also Amon-Ra St. Brown, usually averages about 100 yards per game, but he only had 45 yards this game. So, yeah, kind of tells you how the game went overall. And on the Packers side, we got Jordan Love, 16 of 22 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, 19 carries, 66 yards, 3.5 average, and 1 touchdown. And Romeo Dobbs, 2 receptions for 68 yards. And the overall stats, as you can see on the screen, I know they look pretty even, but again, garbage time kind of skews that a little bit. Overall, I would say Packers pretty much dominated the whole game, offense, defensive side. Did not look good for the Lions, and we're going to jump into that shortly. But yeah, anything else you want to add for the stats here?
Not really. Like you said, I guess I could throw them back on the screen. I'm a little misled looking at some of this. The Lions offensive line definitely needs some work. The fact we only got 46 yards rushing with the 2 running backs we had is a little sad, but Green Bay, they brought it. Green Bay's front 7 did a really good job today kind of stuffing our run. We did a pretty decent job of stopping them. I know towards the end of the game, Jacobs had a couple of decent breaks there. And Sea-Dog, thanks, man. Appreciate the love. I love this Pokemon shirt too. But yeah, so it just felt like I wasn't buying into all this. I figured it would take some time for this offensive line to get a little more cohesion and to kind of gel, because it's not like none of them, I think, played together during the preseason. Obviously, Goff and the special players, the wideouts, the backs didn't play, the starters at least. So I figured, yeah, maybe it would take some time to gel, but I thought they'd still be good enough to still pound the rock, and I thought that would be their big token to winning this game today would be leaning on the run, and Green Bay, they stopped it. Goff had guys in his face, and that's the problem with this team, is if Goff doesn't have the time to throw, it can be a problem. We saw Goff take a couple ugly sacks. He had the bad interception. Micah Parsons, while he only got in less than 20 snaps, he was effective. I'll give it to him. Like, I'm not saying he's a garbage player by any means, But I mean, there were times where Penei Sewell had him. The Lions had him under control for a few plays, but I mean, once he's healthier and integrated into that Packers defense, it might be scarier than maybe even I initially thought they could be. But I think a lot of the Lions' issues are just they need a little more time, and I think they just got to rethink some strategy. At times it was like they were telegraphing what they were doing, and I thought that was a problem.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll jump into this game real quick. First half was really bad by both sides of the line for Detroit. Especially the defensive line. I thought they were gonna come out explosive. Hutch coming back. He's probably really rusty, but man, it seemed like Jordan Love had all day to sit back there, throw passes to whoever he wanted. If you look at the stats for all the receivers on the Packers, it looks like it's a good mix of everyone on that team just getting the ball. Like, I don't know. I was not impressed by the defensive side on the first half there. And then, yeah, like you said, running the ball first half, couldn't get anything going. Even in the second half, we'll jump into that right now. Same thing. Lions did get the ball coming out of the half there. It looked like they started clicking, but they could not get in the end zone. Ended up having to kick a field goal there. But yeah, O-line trouble again. Even when Goff didn't get that safety sack there, they had David Montgomery run it and missed assignments by that O-line. Free rusher up the middle for the Packers defensive line, and luckily Montgomery got out of the end zone into that 1 yard line there. But yeah, you could definitely tell two rookies and Graham Glasgow as a center. It's going to take a little bit. But I want to ask you a question, Adam.
Yeah, go
I
for
know
it.
the Packers played, I don't know if they played all their stars in the preseason game, but a few of them played. I think Dan Campbell needs to at least have the starters play a quarter in the last preseason game to knock the rust off, because it's like every single year we're always talking about the first couple games. It's just looks rusty for the Lions. Like, we can't have that, especially this year going up against a couple of the divisional opponents first couple of games here. Like, it'll hurt if they lose the next game.
It'll hurt. Yes, if this is the kind of thing that's going to happen for the next 4 weeks, I mean, hindsight will be 2020. We can go back and look at should they have played their preseason, the guys in the preseason even for a little bit. It's worked for them the last few years. I'm not gonna, yes, it's slow starts. That's something they got to work on. But if it means keeping a lot of these guys healthier going into these meaningful games and not risking major injury, I'll take that every day of the week. I think this team's just they just had to practice better, and they just have a lot of stuff to clean up. And I think Dan Campbell knew that. You could tell even when he came out at halftime or before halftime, he wasn't worried about it. I think he knew, like, yeah, we got a lot to clean up. We might not win this game. He ain't sweating it. I ain't sweating it. Like I said, if it's 4 games later, Kyle, we'll have a different conversation. But the preseason thing, I'll tell you right now, I'm 100% with him. Do not play your starters at all. I'm fine with that. I don't care. But yeah, they got to figure out how to stop the slow starts. I don't know how you solve that, and I don't think playing in the preseason is that answer exactly. But it's just one of the things. Those things I think we got to deal with these Lions is, maybe a little bit of a slow start, but once they figure it out, but they got to figure it out quick, because the Packers figured it out too, and stayed ahead of them the whole game, like from the jump. And then so we have to stop the dumb penalty. That's the other thing. Some of these players, I don't understand a lot of the dumb stuff that was happening. Brian Branch throwing a helmet. Come on, dude. Like, that extended a drive. We could have held them to 3 points to start the game. It could have been a little better off. Stop doing the dumb penalties like that. Like that, I don't get that one. I think the penalty on Hutch was, I know that got declined technically, on the interception that got called back. That was bogus, even though I get what they were saying. Like, you got to treat the quarterback like a.
Yeah, I understand if he's running off to the side, but if he's running towards who intercepted, Brian Branch intercepted it. If Jordan Love's running towards him, like, I feel like you're up. you're up for grabs. But if you run off to the side, don't try to look like you're going to make contact with a person that intercepted the ball. I don't know. That's kind of a weird.
I don't know. I
Weird
don't know how
rule.
far away from the play or how soon it was after that interception was thrown that Hutch like, all right,
Yeah.
aiming for going for love. I'm not going to defend him there. And we got a Packers fan in the chat, Darius. Yeah, we will talk tomorrow, my friend.
Jeez.
I tried to send him a message to say congratulations on the win, but apparently it didn't go through. Yeah. Packers won fair and square, Darius. Whatever. We're gonna talk Lions. So I don't know. I'll give the refs that. Like, I don't know if he sought him out. I have to look at the play again. I haven't watched the highlights. But I also thought that 5-yard interference was a little ticky-tacky. I thought both guys were kind of going at it, but whatever. Okay, Darius, he doesn't have Facebook anymore. Whatever. But so I don't know. I just didn't agree. There was a few ticky-tack stuff, but it was the dumb stuff that cost him. And Green Bay played pretty button up for the most part, I feel like.
Yeah, I'll give it to the Packers, man. They came out and they kicked Lions' butt. Like, and if the Packers play like that all year, they're gonna be going for that division title for the NFC North there. Like they look really good this week here.
I never thought they'd be bad. Like, I definitely thought if it was going to come down, they were going to have my early prediction, which I never really posted anywhere. I did say Lions and Packers would go like 12 and 5, and the Lions and Packers would split. I thought the Lions would win this one, and I thought the Packers would actually beat us in Detroit. So I guess I could still get that flip-flop to make it work. But I felt like the Lions would win by half a game to still win the division, but it's still a razor-thin margin there. So I was never counting out this Packers team. Like, I thought they'd still be good, and they're clearly good. The addition of Micah Parsons to their defense will probably help them in the long run. But we'll see what Detroit can do. I know I saw somebody on Facebook, a buddy, post that, Brad Holmes is on the hot seat or something like that because we don't have an extra edge rusher. That he never fixed the offensive line. That all this extra stuff that Brad Holmes is just sliding by with not doing enough and just being overconfident and cocky. And I'm just, dude, it's one game. Guys, we knew going into this season, 15 games 2 years in a row is a very tough ask. I don't think it's ever been done. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nobody's done it. So to think that the Lions were going to somehow again win 15 games is a little crazy. But it's one game in Green Bay, a game that maybe they wouldn't have won it. It was a coin toss game maybe to begin with. So it is what it is. For the Lions, there's just stuff to clean up. Stuff to clean up is all I'm saying. And nobody, we shouldn't be getting down about it. And I will give one last shout out, Kyle, and I'll throw it back to you. Darren Hayes over at our friend Darren Hayes, he runs the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel. I watched his video where he talked about the 5 bold predictions going into week 1. He did say the Lions would lose by 2 scores. I called him crazy for it, and I doubled down on it, and he was right. So Darren, buddy, you were right. I'm going to give you your due. Just stop jinxing the Lions going forward, Nostradamus. That's all I'm going to say. All right. How about you give the Lions some double-digit wins going forward, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I expect the line to clean up things, but if it gets halfway through the season and these running backs still can't run the ball because the offensive line just can't do their jobs, then I think we got a real problem for the Lions here.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on here. Everyone's preseason darling. Can't wait to see him out on the field. I'm talking about Isaac Tissalah. Where was he the whole game? We saw a lot of Cleve Raymond out there. I know Cleve Raymond's a trusty third wide receiver, but I thought with shipping out Tim Patrick, we'd see a little more Isaac Tissalah. And he did show up. Fourth quarter, last drive, had a really awesome catch there for a garbage time touchdown, one-handed catch there. But yeah, Adam,
Yeah, hold on.
where
I was
was
getting your
he
picture
at?
added to the stage for you.
Yep, there you go. I was expecting a little more Isaac Tesla out there today.
Yeah, and even it appears our founder is using the World of Football account while we're doing the show. I told him, you log into your own account, Randy. He's like, I can't. I'm using the World of Football account to comment on our own video, which looks tacky, Randy. I know you're watching live. Where was Tesla the whole game? That was the only drive, right? Other than on special teams, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Did you think that was a touchdown when it initially happened?
Well, I thought his hip hit the out of bounds, but he got that other foot down before his hip hit the out of bounds there.
It was so close. It was bang bang. I thought he had it from the initial angle. Then I started second guessing it for like a second. I was like, no. I see both feet before his butt hit down, and it took him forever to realize that. Tony Romo and Jim Nantz on the call there. And what do you think of Romo on the call? By the way,
that
did he
call
bother
or
you as
whole
much
game?
as he did Randy?
I don't know. Like he made good points, but I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't really mind him.
Yeah, he didn't bug me this game. I get it. Like it always stinks when you're on the losing end of it, and you're just like, oh God, he won't stop gushing about the other team. Well, if it was the other way around, he'd probably be gushing about the Lions. So it's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, anything else you want to add about this game?
Let's see, not much. Other than I think that I thought Hutch looked fine. It's just he just never got there. He looked like old Hutch though. He was doing the spin moves, but the Packers' offensive line looked like they're ready. So that kind of stopped it. I thought Davenport early on in the game, I was like, oh, here we go. Davenport on the outside actually sealing things up. So I thought initially our defensive line looked great. And then in the second half, I think the defense made the right adjustments. They just then got put into terrible field position spots because of the offense failing that fourth down, the punt penalty that got called, brought them back. Then they had to repunt it, and then you lose, what was that, 30 yards of field position there because of that. So mainly the thing I think going into next week is clean up the mistakes and get your heads on straight. Like Brian Branch, don't do the dumb stuff. Even Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, I think at a couple of times looked like they were jawing and maybe getting a little too on the cusp of maybe getting a flag, and they got to reel that in. I love how fiery they are, but guys, you got to be a little smarter when it comes to that and just do not take a dumb penalty. That all I ask is do not take a dumb penalty. And I don't get what some of the scheme decisions were from Kelvin Shepard.
Yeah,
a lot of seemed like the middle of the field was open quite a bit. Like putting Hutch back, I'll give Romo this one bit where Hutch dropped back early in the game. It was like a long third down or 3rd and 6 or something.
Yeah,
dropped back. I'm like, yeah, what are we doing? Your best pass rusher is
dropping back,
not pass rushing. What's happening? So it is what it is. Like I said, clean up. Look, their first game is coordinators. The coordinator's offensive line is going to be the two big sticking points, and the defensive line, because people are going to be complaining about not having Zadarius Smith or an extra edge rusher to complement Hutch. So they got to tighten them up. You tighten those up, we're fine. And I think they'll get it worked out. Dan Campbell, I believe in it. So not even sweating it this week. Congratulations, Green Bay.
Yeah. I feel like that first half, like they were blitzing too much with the linebackers and leaving that middle of the field, like you said, wide open. So it didn't really give time for Marcus Davenport to crush the pocket or Aiden Hutchinson, because he was double teamed, I think, the whole game trying to get to the quarterback. And then second half, they came out, made a little bit of adjustments, and started putting a little pressure on Jordan Love there, which led to a almost Alex Anzalone interception there, and Brian Branch interception that got called back. So I think their defensive coordinator, Calvin Shepard, will get these guys ready for the next game.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about a little bit of news here. But first, you guys probably already noticed, Terrian Arnold did leave the game with a groin injury, I think. Hopefully he's not out for next week, but he might miss a couple games coming up here. But they do have good cornerback depth to cover that, so that's good. But for news, Jamison Williams did get a 3 years extension, worth $83 million with $67 million guaranteed. So that's another lockup for the Detroit Lions to keep a excellent player on the Detroit Lions there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get there it is. Jamison Williams signing his extension.
Yep.
Oh.
But yeah. Any other news from this past week? I think that was probably it.
I think that was it. I was gone all weekend, so if there's anything else that slipped through the cracks, I'm not sure. I know a few players were inactive because of illness or something, but I wasn't even 100% on that.
Oh yeah, and the Zadarius Smith rumor of him coming back to the Lions is officially done for. He went to the Philadelphia Eagles for I think $9 million for 1 year. So we can stop talking about that.
That sounds like the exact price that Brad Holmes was not willing to go up to, which stinks. I would have done it for $9 million. Whatever, Brad. We'll see what else he's got cooking, but little disappointed. I'm not going to crucify him like other people, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So let's move on to week 2 here. Game Lions versus Bears at home, Sunday, September 14th, 1 p.m. Few things I want to look for, hoping to improve here is how the offense looks. How does the O-line look better? And do we hopefully get to see more Tisla? Because I think having him out there is going to help the Lions. And then how well is the defensive line going to get to Caleb, or are they going to let Caleb because he is sort of like a running quarterback. He doesn't do it a lot, but are they going to stop him from running around the pocket, making big plays down the field there?
Yeah, we'll see what Ben Johnson cooks up. I mean, they play tomorrow night, and so we'll see what they end up looking like. I know right now Dan Campbell's at the podium talking. I see that right now as I go to the Facebook feed, but I just think that they got to win this next game. I don't think you can let Ben Johnson come into the building and win this one. But I think they'll have the Bears will have their hands full tomorrow night against the Vikings, and we'll figure out from there. It's hard to make a prediction about next week's Lions game when I don't know what this Bears team looks like it could be capable of. I still think Detroit. I'll pick Detroit to win next week, even right now. Regardless, I think the Lions off of a loss, because they haven't lost 2 games in a row in how many years?
2 or 3. I think 2 or 3.
Yeah, so I feel like they'll bounce back. They've been that type of team. I know, yes, it's new coordinators and all that, but I think Dan Campbell will get them locked in, and I'm not sweating it yet. If we lose to the Bears, you might see me sweat a smidge because I'll have even more Bears fans at work giving me grief.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear the end of that. But yeah, I think now that they got tape on this game, I think Hank Fraley is going to really work with that offensive line. And I think they should be improved for this next game coming up here. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, for me, if they do lose this game, if it's a close game, I'm not going to worry too much. But if it's like a blowout, I'm going to start worry a little bit more. And because then next couple games after this Bears game, they're going to be some tough road games coming up here.
The first half of our season is a gauntlet. It is not easy, and they've got to button up. Like, you can let maybe 1 or 2 of these slip through your fingers, but boy, it could get out of hand real fast. You're playing great teams.
Yeah, if they lose the Chicago Bears, I mean, we could be staring at like 4-0 coming up here,
Yeah.
and that's would not be good.
We'll see.
But yeah,
I mean, if you,
other than that,
they got the Browns in there. I think we can still take care of the Browns.
yeah, they got the Bears, Ravens, then Browns. After that, the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Bucks. So
Yeah, some very tough games in there. So they got to get right quick. If they don't look, the Ravens game will be tough. I think they'll still handle the Browns, but the Bucks, like there's some stuff in there that you cannot misstep anymore, or too much rather.
yeah, and yeah. So anything else we want to add here?
Nope, I think we're good. I see Randy's still in the chat using the wrong account. Lions will get better. So
They better.
He'll work it out next week. Hopefully he'll use the right account commenting on the Lions game. But yeah, nothing else really from the chat. I think we'll be good. We'll call it a night. Don't let this one ruin your evening, Lions fans. It's not going to ruin my weekend. So
yeah, I just tomorrow's gonna suck going to work because I got a couple Bear fans at work that are gonna rub this in, and
they'll rub it in, and then they'll get their butts spanked on Monday night. So they can let them talk their crap. It's fine.
Well, we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and close it out here.
All righty, sir. Guys, we appreciate you checking out Just Lying Around, podcast where we talk about our beloved Detroit Lions. We are a part of the world of football, obviously. We have shows live now on YouTube. We got tomorrow night, Monday, we will be doing our CFL, I believe it's week 14 recap. I got to catch up on those games. I've been gone all weekend and have not watched a lick of football, so I've got a lot to cram before that. Tuesday, we have This Week in the World of Football, our other live show we do, where we'll recap week 1 in the NFL. I'm sure the European League of Football crowned a champion, and I'm sure there's another story Randy will find that we'll talk about, as well as some more college football stuff. And then Wednesday night, come back to the channel also for our weekly NFL picks. We do that live with my brother Aaron, where we pick the winners each week. Clearly, we got this one wrong because I think we clean swept the Lions winning. So we'll have to see how we do next week, as we still got a couple more games left for the weekend. You guys can find us. Obviously, there's been the scrolling text at the bottom of the video the whole time for all our social medias. So just follow us on any of those, guys, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Back to you, Kyle.
All right. Yeah, that's it from this week here. Lions lost. I know it sucks, but hopefully they'll get right again. Next week, Chicago, 1 p.m. You're gonna be live after the game again?
Hey, we'll give it a shot. Yeah. I mean, the only thing keeping us from going live right after a game is either a predetermined scheduling conflict or you being so upset that you're like, nope, I can't do it. I can't talk today. That's usually what holds us up. I'll be upset and I'll still come on and talk about it right after. But you, for whatever reason, if it bothers you too much, you're like, nope, I can't. I'm just too mad. I'm just too mad to do it.
Yeah. Well, expect a live show after the game next week. If they lose really bad, then we'll record a video. There you go.
Oh, you want all the swears bleeped out ahead of time. I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this live show here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, liking, all that stuff. Remember,
it really does help, guys.
Yeah. Week 1, bad loss, but they will get better. Offensive line will get better. And yeah, just remember, go Lions, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.